Hello and welcome, disruptors. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery Moments with Dr. Alisa Whyte, your number one mindset disruptor. Because guess what? Your mindset is the key to your success in your life, in your career, in your business, and in everything you do and everything that you're going to level up in and achieve. Hey, this is all about an audio-only moment to help you enhance your daily routines by providing new perspectives, encouraging your personal and professional growth, and pushing you beyond your comfort zone for optimum success. So let's dive right in today's episode. We're back with Dr. Karim R. Ellis. Let me tell you something. His impact exceeds beyond speeches and training sessions with publications all over the world, as we spoke about. But his work as a humanitarian and a collaborator has brought him to a place where he was able to collaborate with his dear friend, Mr. Les Brown, on a transformative program during the challenging times of 2021, giving away thousands of copies of his book. But here's the thing. He's also a founding member and partner of the John Maxwell team. But behind these accolades is this humble human being who, again, we talked about him going from homeless to and bankrupt and directionless to one where he is a top performer in everything he does in life. He lives and talks about his debt-free lifestyle. He talks about how he was able to strategically leave his 9-to-5 and walk out his vision as he put the GPS into the address into his GPS that here, if it was Siri, I'm going and I'm speaking, I'm taking all the stages across the globe. He's recruited the right mentors. He's also dedicated to empowering lives everywhere around the world. He sits as an executive member of the International Institute of Influencer. He's an advisor and patron to Save the Girl Child Advocacy Africa and Nigeria. He's also committed to creating opportunities for individuals to win in their lives, regardless of their starting point. And this is why he exemplifies, and he is the most dedicated individual to tell us how exactly we GPS our way to more in 2024. Dr. Karim, here's the question I have for you, and I'm pretty sure everyone's asking. You do have your own GPS Speakers Academy, and I'll tell you this, why this is so important. And here, guys, on this podcast, we don't do scripted episodes. We don't do. So Dr. Karim doesn't even know what I'm asking him. And can I tell you, I might have an idea of what I'm going to ask him, but we want this. When you listen to us here, you're listening to friends that I want you to look at us as mentors. So Dr. Karim, a lot of individuals who listen to this podcast and who listen to me and see my work, I get asked all the time, I want to learn how to speak. 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 And the only thing I could tell them is, don't ask me. I do a fine job, but I am not certified to be able to teach you how to speak. Here's what I'm asking you, because in your academy, which I am a proud GPS speaking assassin, you don't only teach us how to truly take our story and make it matter in the lives of others, that they would look at us as mentors through our speaking and our training abilities. But you also teach us how to set up a full business where we can actually monetize, not just for ourselves and our families, but to do some of the work like what I talked about that you do and I do around the globe. Because you see, he just mentioned that you want to make sure that your address and where you're going is bigger than you. So yes, we all have purpose, but make sure it's bigger than you. Dr. Karim, what would you tell us if I'm an aspiring speaker and we're using the GPS and we want more in 2024 and we want to get the right mentorship? What are some of the things we should be thinking about and looking for as aspiring speakers, or just people who have to speak because we want to create impact in the world?
So that's a loaded question. I know we got
it is. I know.
Condense that down, sling.
Yes.
So what I would say is this: I would say that if I know I want to speak, number one, I want to be clear about my message, meaning what am I supposed to give to the world? I know this is audio for some folks, and some folks see this visual, but I'm holding my giant prescription bottle. right? And the reason why this is so important, because if I'm a doctor and you walk into my office, I'm not going to just write a prescription and then start giving you pills out of it, medication out of it. I first got to understand what brought you in. So that means I'm going to ask defining questions. You're going to let me know what's going on. So you may say, hey, doc, the reason why I'm here, my lymph nodes have been hurting real bad for the last week and a half. Like when I swallow, it's painful, it stings a little bit. I got knots right underneath both of my back of my jaw lines. My gums are bleeding a little bit. I've been having some headaches on and off. I'm lethargic, don't feel like eating anything. And based on the symptoms, because let's be real, doctors don't treat symptoms. We treat the core problem, right?
Yes.
I listen to the symptoms you're describing, and based on the symptoms, I'm trying to figure out what is the core problem that produced those symptoms. If you're telling me you got a headache, I can give you aspirin, and those symptoms will disappear for all about 4 to 6 hours. But then what happens is the symptoms return, because I'll give you something to treat the symptom, not the problem. As a speaker, my message is designed to treat a problem, not the symptoms. Right?
Come on.
Someone's coming to me saying, man, my money is tight. I have more month than money. I'm robbing for Peter to pay Paul with a check cashing place. My job ain't paying me enough money. You're giving me symptoms, but the core problem may be how you're spending your time when it comes to your gift and talent and what you're actually worth versus what you're settling for. Right?
Yes.
That made me a mindset pivot, mindset disruptor of what am I doing to use my gift and talent to get paid versus what I've been settling for. So as a speaker, I think number one, we got to get clear on your message, meaning what is the core message people need to hear from you, meaning what problem does it solve and what symptoms are attached to it, so you have an idea who my message is supposed to be designed for. So that's the first thing I say. I got to get clear about it. And then number two, in the speaking industry, it boils down to pretty simplistic stuff. You're either going to be a corporate speaker, and when I say corporate, I'm including colleges in there, I'm including high schools in there, anything that's more of a structured facility, I'm including in there, or I'm going to be a seminar speaker. And the difference for those of you that have no idea what it is, corporate is where an organization will say, hey, doc, I want you to come out, speak to our group for 90 minutes. You know, our budget is $15,000. Can you come out? We'll pay for your flight, pay for your hotel. I go out there, I rock the room real good, real hard. I leave them with some breakthrough messages, and then I take off with the check, right? On the opposite end, on a seminar style, that's the big event where they put tickets all over social media. They put tickets on billboard, tickets on the radio, and a bunch of folks all show up on a Saturday, maybe a 2-day seminar. But if I'm that type of speaker, my message still has to permeate that particular audience and tribe. But I also want to know, how do I get paid in that type of event? Because most seminar events are not going to pay you. Most seminar events, you need to have a book or a coaching program, preferably a coaching program, you know, and then work your magic there. You know, if you got a coaching program that's a $500 coaching program, or a higher level of $5,000, $10,000, or even $20,000 coaching program, that's the arena you would take that into. But everything starts with knowing my core message. And I got to make sure my message is something the world wants to hear.
The world wants to hear. Yes.
Yeah, most people want to talk about something. I go, well, who asked you to solve that problem? Like, if you want to get there and talk about the effect of toe jam in your life on a Tuesday night, who asked you to solve that problem? Right? No one wants to hear a better message you can talk about. So when I talk about a message, I'm also talking about your expertise. That's what you've gone through, what you lived through, what you survived. Whereas Dr. Alisa knows, we talk about being snake bitten, meaning when life as a poisonous viper strikes you and injects venom inside of you, right? In the real case scenario, your job is to get to a hospital immediately, because every second that's delayed, that means your life is getting closer and closer to being forfeit. However, once you get into that ER physician is going to ask you two things. That doc is going to say, number one, why are you here? Well, I got bit. Number two, what snake bit you? Because in order to save your life, we got to know the snake you got bit by, because that's how we make anti-venom. It's a mixture of the original host venom mixed with antibodies, which gives us anti-venom. And we can't give you the wrong anti-venom. The wrong anti-venom will take your life. So if you got Black Mamba, I can't give you King Cobra, right? I can't get you Pit Viper, right? Because I give you the wrong one, it'll kill you. The reason why I'm using this analogy, because most of the folks who want to jump into the speaking arena, you've been bit through life situation circumstances. Some of you've been bit through homelessness. Some of you've been bit through bankruptcy and foreclosure. Some of you've been bit through toxic, narcissistic relationships, or dealt with divorce, or dealt with death. Some of you rebounded back from substance abuse, whether it was alcohol or whether it was a drug of choice. There are so many things out there you've been bitten by. The question is, can I identify what I have survived and become an expert at? And when I shift positions to get on the other side of the stage, I now become living, breathing, walking, talking anti-venom, which means my message now saves other people that's been bit by the same snake.
Ooh, that's it. And so inside, he's giving you way more. He's already poured a lot of more into building that brand for those friends who reach out for me from all over the world. you can definitely connect with Dr. Karim. We'll be talking some more about that. The next question I have for you, Dr. Karim, on the show, I always want to talk about how the guest has been able to flip the script. We'll be right back after these messages so we can talk to Dr. Karim about flipping the script of his mindset. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, we are back and we're talking to Dr. Karim R. Ellis, the #1 breakthrough strategist. He just went into a little bit for my friends listening across the globe about speaking success. And you know that he's definitely figured out the anti-venom. I've told you over and over again, he's living proof of his work. And as one of his mentees and students, I continue to be a part of his speaking academy. Go to gpsspeakersacademy.com and connect with him there on that. But the question that we always want to know, our audience are sure they're excited. Dr. Alisa, Mindset Mastery Moments. We are going to have a segment starting with Dr. Karim. It's called Flip the Script, where we want to know, Dr. Karim, how can you share with us a strategic moment in your life when you had to flip the script in your mindset and it was hard for you to do, but you did it anyway, and you succeeded because of that flip in your mindset?
Wow. So off the top of my head, I'm thinking about the transition from speaking in the real estate world over into the professional space, the corporate S space. And I think the biggest problem for me was, and this is what happens with most of us, we focus on, there's a concept I talk about, how versus why. And most of us focus so intently on the how to, and the thing that's really important is the reason why, right?
Yeah.
The whole time I kept thinking, well, I know entrepreneurship, I know real estate, I can teach how to flip a house in and out, upside down, eyes closed. I don't need a diagram, I don't need a whiteboard. I know this, I live this, I've been doing real estate all this time. And so when God gave me the command to say, I'm going to pivot you, because let's be real, when you have a gift and talent, and there's a multitude of gifts and talents out there. Communication is one of my gifts and talents. That gift and talent can be used in a multitude of arenas. The problem with most of us, we keep associating our gift with one arena. And so we stick in those arenas longer than we're supposed to, or what I call the expiration date. Why do I call it expiration date? Because right now in my kitchen, I got a bunch of canned goods in there that, unfortunately, don't judge me, they're past the expiration date, which means I can no longer use them. I can't open them. I can't eat them. I can't give them away to the Goodwill or a food bank. I can't do anything with them but throw them away. And so what we have to understand, there are some seasons of our life that we have an expiration date attached to it, which means we want to shift into that next level before the expiration date arrives, and we can't do anything with our gift at that point. And so that was one of my biggest transitions, was how do I go from speaking to rooms of 200 people about how to make money in real estate to speaking to rooms of 10,000 people when it comes to breakthrough success, leadership concepts, and things like that, right? So what I understand the value and the flexibility of the gift. Meaning, as a speaker, I can talk about anything, but there had to be a mindset shift. And so one of the quickest way to do a mindset shift is based on who you hang with. Jim Rohn says your life a mirror that is you hang with the most. The problem I had in that situation was I wasn't hanging with other speakers in that arena, right? It's so far-fetched to go out there and say my fee at that point is going to be $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000. It seems so far-fetched because in the real estate world, you don't get paid. Speaking of real estate world, you get paid off your coaching programs and things you have in the back of the room. If you're teaching wholesale or short sale, that's how you get paid. So it was a total different transition. But the transition came about easier and faster by setting the vision, getting clear about where I'm going to, and then strategically figuring out what I'm going to do to get the vision off the ground. And while I was looking for a mentor, because I didn't have one just yet, I started to submerge myself in the world of that reality even before it was a reality to me. So I started hanging around other people that were already speaking in the corporate place and space. The more I work with them, the more I desire to do what they do, right? Rohn hit spot on. He said, your life mirrors that of the 5 people. So if you're struggling right now and you're trying to do a mindset shift where you're trying to go from doing things a certain way to doing them a new way, one of the quickest things I would do is say, get clear on the vision. Find 3 people that you know what's doing it. And you don't have to know them personally. You can find them on social media. All you need is the tangible proof to tell your mind it can be done because I'm seeing somebody do it. right?
Yes.
It's not like Bigfoot, where I don't know. I've never seen it myself. I don't know if it really look a little grainy and fun. It ain't like the Loch Ness monster. I don't know if Nessie exists or not. It's something in the water, but I can't tell. Find 3 people minimum that show tangible proof it can be done. If I can find those 3, then I know there's a way. And now what happens, I stop focusing on the how-to and I focus on the why. Most on the how. And so while I was wrapped in the realm of how do I do this, I didn't have the answers. I didn't have the answers. As Kanye said back in the day, I ain't got the answers, Sway. How do I transition over to this side of the fence and be successful? The longer I focused on the how-to that I didn't have, the more I shut myself down. It's the going to school back in the day, and the teacher says, who wants to come up here and solve this algebra problem? And if I don't know how to do the parentheses and all the other stuff, I'm not going to raise my hand because I'm focused on the how-to. The moment I switch from how-to thinking to why thinking, Mrs. Why is it so important for me to solve this math problem? Because what if the teacher says, I'm buying McDonald's for whoever solves this for the next 2 months? For lunch, we got to show them the reason why. I ain't got to eat school pizza? Oh, we good. And that's the big thing. What I had to do was focus on why. Why is it so important? Because you got a little girl, you want to make sure that you're able to leave a legacy for her. You want to be able to free up your time so you can create breakthrough success for millions of people around. Right? There's so many reasons why, but when you're focused on yourself and being selfish, you'll miss that mark. You'll miss it every single time. So what I've learned now is not to focus on the how. The how-to is not the most important thing, because if I don't know the dance steps, I'll shut myself down and tell myself I got to skip it until it shows up. I want to focus on the reason why. If I have a why, it'll supersede and surpass any how. So in 2024, if you really say you want more, what's the why behind what you want? And focus on that. Usually the why has an emotional response. And we know manifestation, if I can attach emotional energy to what I'm trying to manifest, and manifest quicker and faster. This I ain't talking nothing new. Y'all know the most marketing taps into your emotions. You deserve it. Treat yourself now. You work hard. Don't you work hard? Like this emotional buying decision and to tap into your emotion. And before you know it, you walking out with a $5,000 big screen trying to sneak it up. But I worked hard, baby. I deserve this. Yeah, the deserves it too.
Exactly. Ooh, wow. You all heard it. He said that he had to change who he hung around with when he flipped the script, and he had to make that adjustment to step into his new career. So yes, I think, Dr. Queen, can we say that there are times you will arrive at a certain destination and you would have to input a new destination in the GPS?
Absolutely. You're always in a state of recreation, because once you hit a goal, there's another address that goes into the destination afterwards. So even when I started doing this, right, I went from real estate over to corporate, and then the address shifted. What was the address shift? The address shift that I want bigger organizations with logos that are known on face value. Because, you start out, you get those small mom and pop companies that no one knows about, right? They don't even have a logo. But then you start hitting the General Electrics and the Fords and the United States Postal Service and the big name companies, the Procter & Gamble's, the Johnson & Johnson. And then once you hit that, then you start thinking about the pay rates, right? How much is my message actually worth? So you'll always be reinventing yourself and putting a different address in the GPS. Right? It doesn't stop once you arrive. The journey actually begins, because now you get to do it all over again, but strive and stretch to go farther, faster, and well beyond where you were when you first decided to take the journey in the first place.
Whew. You guys heard it. That's also in the Lively Manual, guys. Chapter 3. And so let me say this to you all. What Dr. Karim just said is so important. He said that you have to shift your mindset into a place where you understand you've arrived at. And he said that after that tree, you can tell there's no more leaves. You don't have to wait around. The signs are already there that you need a new address. But here's the point I want to push here, because we talk about purpose a lot. And that's a big part of my work, Dr. Karim. Sure. And what a lot of people get tied up with is that purpose is really the big why. And I don't want to say only the big why. It's very important for you to be clear on your why. But here's the thing with Dr. Karim just saying that you're going to have to put that reinventing yourself and getting. So he talked about recalculating, but this is not recalculating. This is putting a new address because who is living in the same house they grew up in? Not very many of us, unless you were born in a mansion, right, Dr. Kareem?
Yeah.
So we always want a bigger house. We always want a nicer car. So your goals and dreams need to grow up too, right?
Yeah, if I could throw something in real quick that make it real simplistic, the current version of you is not qualified to get you to your finish line.
Come on.
Some people don't want to hear that. The current version of you right now is not qualified and equipped to get you to your finish line. It's in the journey that the transformation takes place into who you need to be to not only arrive, but to hold on to what you've been going after. Because if the current version of you walks into the very thing you've been asking God for, there is a 99.9% chance you'll lose it. Why? Because if it's bigger than you and supposed to bless other people, let's be clear spiritually, the enemy's not going to let you hold on to it in the first place without a fight. There's no way in the world. In a game of football, the person you hit on the field the hardest is the person holding the ball. And baby, whether you know it or not, in 2024, you are the quarterback. You are calling the plays. So when they try to blitz through the line of scrimmage, and baby, yeah, there's going to be some blitzes in 2024. They're going to break through that line of scrimmage. They're going to try to hit you as hard as they possibly can, not just to stop the play, but to take you out, to put you on the injury list, put you out for the season. So I got to be prepared also mentally to take the hits. Most of us walking into 2024 with no idea what's going to happen in February, what's going to happen in April, what's going to happen in June, what's peeking this corner out, peeking out in the corner, and August waiting on me, right? What's waiting for us December 29th before you think you about to celebrate the ball drop on December 31st? Like, we have no idea, but it's out there waiting. So I want to do the mental preparation, understanding it's not about getting hit. It's about getting back up after getting hit. And more importantly, being able to take the hit. But I got to be ready for it. But the version of you are right now, you're not qualified and equipped to make it to that finish line. And if you make it by happenstance, you won't hold on to, because you cannot surpass your current level of thinking. You'll never do it. Part of the journey is what gives you the growth that gets you equipped to not only reach your finish line, but to maintain it and hold on to it so can't nobody take it from you.
Wow. Dr. Kareem, this brings me to one of the things that you did in the book really quick. Mm-hmm. You played with the acronym from Global Positioning System. Everybody, if you don't know, that's what GPS standardly stands for, right? And he talks about all what he knows and says he doesn't know a lot about it. But he played with the acronym from Global Positioning System to God Positioning System.
Come on now.
And if y'all gonna get a little hurt and you get your feelings hurt here, we are body, mind, and soul. And we are a soul in a body and not the other way around. Let's let Dr. Whyte tell you where she come from on her podcast. And we're going here with Dr. Ellis. You spoke about that God positioning system. Can you tell us how we can GPS our spiritual life?
This
in joint with where you just took us.
This may hurt some people's feelings in 2024. I may lose some followers off of this. No, because I'm coming through stepping on pinky toes right now, right? So
let's go. Y'all better cover your toes right now. We're ready. Go in, Dr.
Yes, we know Global Positioning System is the acronym for what GPS technology is, but I also believe in GPS being the God positioning system. And the way this came about, because you guys understand how GPS technology works, you don't have to be a scientific whiz kid to figure this out. A GPS works on a strong Wi-Fi signal. So if I put an address in the GPS, that GPS looks for a local cell phone tower. That tower finds a satellite in outer space. And as long as that trifecta connection is going on, that GPS will take me anywhere I want to go. As long as I got that strong Wi-Fi signal. That's the key. Because the opposite of being connected is being in a dead zone. And we know about dead zones. There are some places in Cincinnati, Ohio, if I go to the bottom of this hill, I'm going to lose my signal. Right? If I go behind this large building, I'm going to lose my signal. And the danger is the GPS still works, but it's not connected. So that means in that moment, I'm literally driving blind. So my destination, my turnoff could be literally 10 feet away. But because I don't have a signal and I can't longer get instructions, I could go flying right past my exit unintentionally. Because I'm no longer connected to the signal from the GPS. And so when I talk about a signal on the God position and purpose of it, we're talking about the idea of what is my purpose? What have I been put here for? Right? You've been put here. Surely you don't think you've been put here just to bust your tail working for somebody for 40 hours a week until the retirement age of 65. No, let me take it back. 70, because the way we going right now, most folks, the retirement age is going up. So it might be 72, right? I got a firm belief that when I was put here, God put me here intentionally, not accidentally, with a specific purpose. And the way I know that, I got to take a look at my God-given gifts and talents. Those gifts and talents are the things that's been given to me to help me walk out my assigned purpose. Now, if I'm not aware of my purpose, my gifts and talents can double over. I could crush it in my corporate job, or I can crush it in any arena with my gift and talent, not being aware of what the gift and talent was actually given to me for. In other words, I don't believe God is going to give you a divine assignment and not give you the tools and the resources to pull that thing off. So I want to be clear about that going into it. But there have been seasons of my life, and some of you will resonate with this, where you have gone through setbacks, challenges, storms that you didn't even know was going to manifest in your life. And in that moment, you lost your GPS signal. You weren't riding with full bar coverage. You looked at the bars. The bars went from 5 bars to 3 bars to 2 bars to 1 bar. And in that moment, you were literally navigating your life blind. Easy to get lost, easy to get stuck, easy to get pulled into someone else's agenda. In that moment, when I realize I'm not getting results, or I feel like I'm off track, my job is to get back into a place of alignment where I get that signal back. So for most of us in the Christian space or the religious space, we understand, man, that's all about communication. That's all about having a relationship with God Almighty, right? It can't be simple. I'm only going to God when I'm got my back up against the wall, when I'm in a pickle or in a jam. I have to have that constant communication going on, because that ensures I got a strong Wi-Fi signal. Facts about it, I will know when I'm getting out of alignment with that signal. If I got a strong enough connection relationship, there's certain things that should no longer appeal towards me. I know hanging out with this group, I'm gonna lose my signal hanging out with them. I shouldn't be hanging out with them this week, right? I know if I go into this arena, I can't get no signal in there. So if I go into this arena this weekend and hang out with these folks, I'm gonna get in trouble, because I'm gonna lose my signal. I can't be connected to God. So the beautiful thing is, you may not know where the dead zones are in your life, but when you have that strong Wi-Fi signal, you have that constant communication going on, it's easy for you to identify dead spots and prepare before you get there, or more importantly, understand I'm in a place I can't get no signal, right? And so it's my job to leave that space as quickly as possible and get back into position and alignment for my divine assignment, which means now I'm in a place where I got a strong Wi-Fi signal. And that's all about staying in connection and having a relationship. And I'm not talking relationship when my back's up against the wall. I ain't talking relationship. I need a favor, guy. Because let's be real, a lot of us go running that way when we ain't got the money for the rent, when the car has an unexpected breakdown, right? When things go wrong, when a health scare comes back on the test, oh my God. And I'll let y'all interpret what the health scare is. I ain't trying to read nobody that writes this week, right? But if I have a relationship, there's always that strong signal.
That's
the way I've navigated 20 years of success because I had relationship. I'm not gonna say there's moments where I didn't fall into the dead zone. There's been moments I hit my dead zone spots, right? Yeah. But I had the mental fortitude to know when I was getting my butt whooped. Right. And I started looking for that signal. Can you hear me now? Hey, it's tough over here in these streets. I need that signal. Give me the bars back. I know from where my protection and my wealth comes from, right? Yes. Yeah, we talk about the God positioning system. It's about that relationship that I have that gives me deeper understanding, gives me instructions. Everything I've done, I will never take credit for it. There's no one out there who can take credit for my success. I give it all to God, because God said, go start this toy business. I had people, toy business. You're going to be selling vintage toys to people, right? When I said I was going to jump over to the world of real estate, you don't know nobody. That's a scam. Nobody makes money in real estate, right? Every time my steps were ordered, they were only ordered because I had a strong Wi-Fi signal.
That Wi-Fi signal connected to the GPS, the God positioning system, is what he accredits his full navigation system. And I'm telling you, listen, I don't have to say anything else. And that leads me to my final question for Dr. Karim before I let him take it away and close us out. Dr. Karim, everyone on the show is going to answer this. You have told us a lot, but we're just going to play dumb and act like we didn't hear what you just said. What is you just told us you went through moving from corporate world and working and training as a corporate trainer and all different specialties you did in the corporate arena. But then you moved into having your toy business, and you were very successful with that. You were very successful with real estate, and you created a debt-free lifestyle that facilitates your dream of where you're able to travel the world week after week to be on stages and in corporations that we know from huge corporations like GE and all of that. You've also created a depth lifestyle. We would say that's what success looks like for many of us. That's what we aim, right? But what do you define as success? Because, hey, this is where we talk in this show. We talk about your mindset is the key to your success. But what would you define as success for you?
Really, really great question. And it's heartfelt because I was lost in the sauce for a long time on this. We don't realize how much, especially with the interference, and I say interference of social media, how that affects the progress of what we think success is. So there's a part that was having the luxury car, the supercar, right? The sports car. There's a part where I thought living.
But you have two beautiful Porsches.
Yeah, I do. But
where you have two beautiful Porsches that you don't owe anyone for.
Yeah, but we're going to loop that back in on why that's important, right? So first I thought it was the vehicles. Then I thought it was the lifestyle. I thought the way I was dressed. I thought, well, getting the weight off and getting the nice, sexy physique. I thought all these things was success. I thought success was the person you had on your arm. You got to look like eye candy to go off on the road. Don't make that mistake. Do not pick somebody based on them being eye candy. I promise you, your life will get a cavity. And you'll end up losing some teeth.
Never mind. Some of us do come and I can't.
Don't pick them the wrong way. That's all I'm getting at, right? So there's a lot of things I thought success actually was, and what would happen is I would hit these benchmarks. I would feel unfulfilled. I say, I got it. Why do I still feel empty? Boom, I got it. Why do I feel so empty? They paid me $10,000 to speak for 1 hour. No job that I've ever worked for has paid me $10,000 for 1 hour of my time. Boom, I got it. Why do I still not feel happy? What I come to realize is success to me now is being able to walk in your God-assigned purpose, meaning the reason why I put you here on the planet. I tell people the 3 most important days of your life is the day you're born, because that's when you bless us with your presence. Day number 2 is when you figure out the reason why, which is your God purpose, right? The whole reason why you're here is not to make a whole lot of money. It's not to go out here and date, super fly people. It's not to be able to jet set all over the world. It's not to buy super fast cars and super big houses and lifestyle, stuff like that. Those are the trappings of success. Those are the remnants of success. They may be the fruit on the tree of success, but the goal is to get the seed planted and walk out the very thing you've been put here and assigned to do. So day number 2, the most important day of your life is when you figure out the reason why you've been put here. But then the 3rd most important day of your life is when you have the mental courage and tenacity to chase that thing out. And for most of us, when we figure out what our purpose actually is, our purpose will typically contradict what we believe we're qualified and capable to do. Even in the book of life, Moses argued with God at the burning bush over his purpose. Your whole purpose was to lead them out of bondage to the promised land. And he argued over it, right? So that means God instinctively put you inside Egypt's household so you understand the trappings of Egyptians, right? You knew how the Egyptian system worked, how the legal system worked. You knew how to read and write Egyptian, right? You knew all that. You was born from slavery, but you got put into the right household. That was not accidental. That was intentional. Then you left that haven of paradise out to the wilderness, because again, there's transformation in the journey. And that was what puts you into preparation to come back and lead them from where they are to where they're supposed to be. Everything in your life that has happened to you, no matter how bad it may feel or may sound, it's not an accident, it's intentional. It's all done with the job of developing you to help you walk out the one thing that's important to God, which is your purpose. I'm not worried about your money unless your money is tied into what your purpose is. Right? Yes. So I figured out what my purpose is. Then when I talked earlier about the idea of resources, now I understand the resources they're given to me to help me walk my purpose out. Now, if I do this thing the right way, I still get the benefit of the wealth and the travel and the happiness and all those other things that people keep making a purpose. No, that's a byproduct of it. Right? Yes. If I plant an apple seed in my backyard right now, and for the next 2-3 years, I water it, I maintain it, I nurture it, I keep all the weeds away from it, I keep deers from eating it, eventually it's going to produce fruit.
Exactly.
Too much fruit for me to eat. If that apple tree got overrun, I ain't that much of an apple lover. I ain't going to eat 100 apples, but I can share those apples with other people that are hungry. And I get the benefit of being able to enjoy an apple or two myself. Yes. That's what walking in the purpose looks like. When I walk purpose, I get to bless other people with the fruit of my journey, but I also get to take an apple or two and enjoy it my daggone self, right? There you go. I've learned how to make a lot of stuff with apples: applesauce, apple pie, apple cider, right? Yeah, you can make a lot of stuff with apples. Apples go a long way this day and age.
Apple chips, apple fries,
a lot of stuff. But we want to be clear because most of us aren't chasing purpose, and that's why many of us have hit a stagnant block. Purpose. if you put your purpose first and start to look at everything around you and say, how does this help me walk into my purpose quicker and faster? You will not only see your life do a 360, you'll not only start to see happiness in your life that you've never seen before.
Yes.
Now you're walking in alignment for your divine assignment, but the way and the magnitude and how you're able to bless other people goes up tremendously.
That's right. Absolutely. I like to say the the push of pain and the pull of possibility is all worthwhile when you're walking in your purpose. I am never a dull moment, no matter what the hardship is. It's like they said, you need to be in the hospital this week. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I got a podcast. I got a show. I got a book. I got a course. I got a meeting. What are y'all talking about? But I do know I have to sit back. But when your life is so filled, it's like, you're like, okay, what do we need to do so I can get over this roadblock?
Sure.
Because my GPS navigation system is saying recalculating. So Dr. Karim, I am going to give you the microphone to give us your last words for this episode, because there's no way you're not coming back on Mindset Mastery Moments. If you can give us a last few words on how we can surely make that mindset shift so we can GPS our way to more in 2024, the microphone is all yours, Dr. Karim.
Absolutely. I'm believing if you are here, you are still listening to this or watching this, it is solely because you are dissatisfied with your standpoint in the key of life. And I'm here to say that you can absolutely have more in 2024. The first thing I need you to do is I need you to get crystal clear about your vision. Whatever you're going after, whatever you put inside your life's GPS, understand the address you input in your life's GPS will always determine the destination. So I want to be clear about where I'm going, because where I'm going will dictate what I do with the resources that God has blessed me with in this season of the journey, the money, the time, the education, the connections, the relationships, and most importantly, my God-given gift and talent. I will know how to maximize that thing to its most powerful ability when I do one thing right, which is set the address. Number two, I want you to move with clarity over confusion. I talked briefly about how you put an address in the GPS and it gives you crystal clear instructions, right? Whatever you're going after, I want you to be clear. I want you to program your subconscious mind with clarity down, with specificity on what it is you want, so your mind will jump on autopilot and seize opportunities to go out and grab what it is you're looking for. The third thing I'm going to encourage you to do in 2024 is I want you to make the right connections and dodge the dead zones. We had some humor with it a little bit earlier. We know GPS works on that connectability. How strong is your Wi-Fi signal in 2024? Are you connected to the right coaches, the right mentors, the right organizations, the right individuals, or are you walking around hanging out in dead zones where you are losing your way because you've lost your signal? And that dead zone could be the job that's not servicing you, could be the disruptive mindset, the peers, the organizations you belong to, or even a lack of the right education. So we want to make sure we're properly connected in 2024. The fourth thing I want you to think about is be able to recalculate, meaning there's always more than one way to get to a finish line. Bruce Lee said it best. He said, be formless like water. If I take water and pour water into a cup, it takes on the form of a cup. If I pour water down the side of a mountain, it'll pick the quickest, fastest, easiest way to get to the finish line. So don't be so locked in stone on the way you start your journey, because a lot can happen between the start and the finish. Just be applicable enough in the journey that you will be willing to bend as needed to make it to your fantastic finish line. And then last but not least, we didn't really talk about it, but I want to encourage you to check the history log. In every GPS, I can go to the history log and it'll pull up in real time every address that you have put into that GPS since ownership of it. So if I want to know where you've been spending the majority of your time, I ain't even got to ask you. All I got to do is say, hey, let me take a look at your GPS. Let me look at the history log. It's going to show me everywhere you've been spending your time at. Why is that important? Because where your energy goes, your focus flows. Where your energy goes, your focus flows. And I want to be sure in 2024, because we both told ourselves we want more in 2024. I want to make sure you're not spending a majority of 2024 chasing other people's addresses and getting other people's results. I don't want you to cheat on your goals and dreams anymore by chasing everything that has nothing to do with where you're supposed to be at for your divine assignment and your powerful purpose. I want you to be clear about the addresses. Why? Because your past tells me how we made it to your present. Your past tells me how we made it to your present. But if you keep doing the things in the past, your present is a predictor of your future. And if you don't want more of what you got in 2023, if you really want more in 2024, we got to go with a new mindset, a new imagination, a reinvigorated pathway. We want to unlock the 2.0 version of ourselves. I firmly believe if you take just these 5 core principles and you spend some time picking up the book, because the book is going to give you additional value, I think in 2024, you will have no problem hearing these powerful words. Wait, that wasn't how it's supposed to work. The word's supposed to come out. Let's try that one more time.
You have arrived at your destination.
That's what I'm talking about. See, even when Murphy's Law tries to show up, Murphy ain't got nothing on me. I send Murphy back with a black eye. I ain't got time to play that. Let me give it one more time. You'll have no problem hearing these powerful words.
You have arrived at your destination.
And that's what it's all about. Getting more in 2024. GPS in your way to success.
Can I just drop my microphone? If I do that, it's going to mess up the studio. Dr. Karim, absolutely. We are blown. We are grateful. This is probably going to be a 2-part episode. So wherever you're coming at, if you're coming into the second episode, you're the one before this. We don't know what's going to happen when they edit it, but all of it is good. You literally got an overview of what I call a goal-setting manual. And here's the thing. It's not goal-setting because I'm over and weary. A goal-achieving, success-achieving manual by Dr. Karim. Dr. Karim, just tell us how to connect with you. And you have a bit of a special gift for a few of our listening audience that they might want to jump on. So tell us how to connect with you.
Absolutely. So right now, I'm literally everywhere on social media. So I'm on Instagram, on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. If you just type in Dr. Karim R. Ellis, and of course the name is up here, so you can't mess that up. I know people, they butcher Kareem. I've been called Kareem, Karm. No, it's Kareem. The most important language in the English, in English vocabulary is a person's name. You don't want to mess that up. I'm just playing with you guys, right? Yeah, so if you do just a Google search, you pop me up. If you're looking to bring me out and book me, you go directly to my website, which is KareemEllis.com, KareemEllis.com. And for those of you that's interested in reaching out because you're thinking about jumping into the speaker industry, you're saying, hey, I want to learn how to take my message and take it out there, and you're looking for the right mentor who's been doing this for 20 years. I know I look young, but it has been 20 long, hard years in the trenches, a multitude of stages, both nationally and internationally. I'm your guy. I also got 2 TEDx's under my belt, so I'm your guy. So you can reach out to me for that as well. And then for those of you that have hung with us to the end, you said, man, I just need more value. This is what I'm going to recommend. Right now, there's a QR code that popped up. If you go to my Instagram and say, hey, Doc, I heard you on Mindset Mastery with Dr. Alisa Whyte. That's all you got to do. Go to my Instagram. Do the QR code and go to Karim Ellis 2.0 on Instagram. Let me know that you tuned in to this powerful podcast and you got fed some value and some nuggets and some wisdom, some gems today. My team is going to make sure we give you a free copy of GPS My Success. I know the blue screen ain't doing, the green screen ain't doing right with me. GPS My Success. And here's the catch though. I'm only going to offer it to the first 20 people. After 20, we cut it off. So don't come to me with Doc. I was out of town. Podcast too late. Life favors those that take advantage of opportunity. When opportunity presents itself, your job is to move.
You move.
First 20, and we're going to cut it off at 20. If you say, hey, I heard you on Mindset Mastery Moments with Dr. Alisa Whyte, follow me on Instagram. Let me know where you heard me at. My team will get an ebook copy of this over to you. It's revolutionary to change your life. It's a bestseller. One of my personal mentors has done the foreword for it, a guy you may know by the name of Mr. Les Brown or Dr. Les Brown at this point in time. Yeah, he's on the back of the book too. Yeah, so if you just let me know that you saw this on this podcast, we got you. We're going to help you make your way to more in 2024. I guarantee it.
Thank you, Dr. Karim. And let me tell you, all throughout the book, you are absolutely doing work. Guys, this is why I love this book. Became one of my favorites in 2021, and I'm still reading it and this is my special copy. The hardcover doesn't get written on, so don't judge. My ebook and on the tablet, it's got notes everywhere and stickies. because I'm a virtual person. I like to keep things simple. Get your copy, scan the QR code one more time, follow Dr. Karim, follow him, bum rush him, and stay in tune with what he's got coming up in his career and in his work as a global, prolific thought leader. We're so blessed and honored to have you, ladies and gentlemen, disruptors. We have come to the end of a show that I didn't want to end, but for you it does. My show doesn't end because I said he's my coach, my mentor, and he's so much. I'm so blessed to call him my friend, and we get to work and journey in a lot of areas of life together. Dr. Karim, thank you for being here. And remember, he gives you the last bit. You can watch this over and over again on the YouTube channel, and you can plug in and listen, because I'm sure there's some nuggets that you're going to need to listen. Dr. Karim, thank you so much for being on Mindset Mastery Moments with Dr. Alisa, your friend. And we will see you on the next episode, because you got to come back and give us more. You got to give us a tune-up to make sure you got to adjust. Bye, everyone. Love, light, peace, and blessing. And we're out.